Hello everyone, and welcome to the IELTS multi-step program. Over the years, one thing that we have noticed about success in the IELTS is the role of practice, which is why we have provided a platform for all our test takers to have a mock feeling of the speaking test. In the videos that you're going to be watching, you're going to have candidates who are preparing to write the IELTS go through the speaking test with a trained IELTS examiner. Please watch these videos and note the mistakes they make, the strategies they've used, and the tips that will be proffered in these videos to help you achieve the maximum success that you desire in the IELTS speaking test. Let's get right into these videos. Today, as is our usual tradition, we'll be running a review for a practice speaking test that was conducted for test taker Aaron in our studios at the Prep Class Studios here. As we always do, we'll review this video to look at the strategies that were employed to get the score that he got, the mistakes that he made, and the pitfalls that you can avoid in getting your own desired score in the speaking test of the IELTS. Aaron performed, I think, at an average level or slightly above average, and I'm really curious to see what are the things that he did right and what are the things that he did wrong. Please note that these videos are not just there for you to enjoy, they are there for you to extract relevant information and tips from so that you can apply them to your own practice and to your own performance and get the desired score that you wish to get that would make you succeed in the IELTS. Let's see what Aaron does and let's see how we can improve on his performance. Hello and welcome to the IELTS speaking test. My name is Lanre. I'll be your examiner for today. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Aaron.
Okay, what should I call you, please?
Aaron.
Good. Do you work or study?
I work.
Could you tell me something about the job that you do?
I am a graphics designer and video editor.
Okay.
I create content also for social media and other platforms, marketing platforms.
That sounds like an interesting job. What kind of skills do you need to have to do the kind of job that you do?
For one, you need to be creative. Then have a bit of team bonding, spirits.
So you would notice that there was a slight challenge there. So you went team bonding and team. So what he wanted to use there, the actual expression was team spirit, but he made a mistake. But you could see that he was able to pick up the pieces and just correct himself and move on. And that's one significant feature or characteristics of people who would do well in the IELTS. They don't get stuck up on mistakes that they made. They correct it and they move on if they do know the correct version. And if they do not know the correct version, they just move on and pick a new thread of idea and just continue. The people who have a problem with the IELTS are those who, when they make a mistake, they start second-guessing themselves or they start reviewing it. So they go team bond and they go, oh, God, shit, I'm sorry, please. No, do not do that. If you do that in the IELTS, you have broken your flow. You have affected your own fluency. And fluency is a very important criteria for success in the speaking test.
Team management too.
Okay, I see. Okay, can you tell me a little about where you live?
I stay in a nice apartment. Yeah, it's filled with lots of flowers and artworks and nice painting in the room.
Okay, which is your favorite room in the house or flat where you live?
That has to be the kitchen.
And why would that be?
That's where you get your stomach filled.
I see. What changes would you like to make to where you live?
I would say maybe beautify the place, give it a little bit of light. Yeah, because currently it's dark, and maybe change the color of the room and all.
I see. Do you like fruits and vegetables? And what kinds of fruits and vegetables are popular in your country?
I would say I do like fruits and vegetables, and I would say oranges because they are never out of season. They are always available, and you can get.
Do you get that expression? They are never out of season. Those are the kind of expressions that you should work towards, that you should target. Expressions that are not jaw-breaking words, but are the exact and appropriate collocation of words that would go together to express a certain meaning. So it is never out of season. Out of season is a description for perishable goods or perishable products or fruits or agricultural products, perishable agricultural products that are either available in a particular season or not. So for him to use that expression shows a heightened level of competence, communicative competence, and that would serve him well. And I'm probably sure that's one of the reasons why his performance was a little bit above average.
Then anytime, yeah. So oranges is a go.
Good. Okay. So why are fruits and vegetables so good for people?
Well, because of the nutritional value it offers. Yeah, it's good for one's growth, and it nourishes the body.
C.
Oranges give you vitamin C, so yeah.
How can we get young people to eat more fruits and vegetables?
Yeah, we can do that by integrating it to their meal plans. Yeah, the young ones actually know.
So you would see that this young man actually has the right or the exact expressions to say exactly what he means to say. Words like nutritional value, meal plan. So you would see that this is an area that he's quite comfortable with and he's quite confident to express himself. And these are the things that the examiners are looking out for. Like I said, not the jaw-breaking words, not the really big ambitious vocabulary, but the words that efficiently and effectively convey your thoughts and your ideas that you want to share. Registers. What are registers? Registers are words that are peculiar to a particular concept, a particular topic, a particular area, a particular profession. Using them will give you extra scores in the speaking test of the IELTS because it displays competence.
We need fruits to function daily. Everybody needs food to function daily, but yeah, integrating it to meal plans is the best way to do that.
Do you think you could ever be a vegetarian?
I don't think so, because meat, I like meat, so yeah, I think I'll really stick to eating meat and other things.
I see. What are the typical seasonal weather conditions in your country?
That should be the rainy and dry seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the two major.
I have a challenge with his use of yeah. It seems to be too much. It's become monotonous. Right from the first time he started expressing himself up till this moment, and we're still in part one, every answer has been truncated with the yeah. And it sort of starts getting to affect the overall quality of his responses.
Seasons, weather seasons, and
okay. How do you think weather can affect people's moods?
Well, weather affecting people's mood depends on the person actually. Because I'm more of a rainy season kind of person, and I like when it rains because it makes me feel cool. The weather is always cool, and like they say in Nigeria, weather for two kind of.
I see. So, do you feel weather patterns are changing nowadays?
Yes, I do. Because, well, the days where raining seasons are always like in the past.
Not raining season, right? It is rainy season. Not raining, it is rainy. And I could see that's a constant error that he made because I think he has repeated that same expression like 3 times.
There are always specific days, months when it rains and when it's not supposed to rain. But now you see rain falling when it's supposed to be sunny, and basically there's a climate change in the country.
Good. So, what do people like to do in your country when it is raining?
Maybe play under the rain because the parts of the country where I'm from, yeah, that's usually what happens under the rain. As a kid, anyway. Yeah, play under the rain.
So adults do not do that?
No, I think they have other basic things to do. So, yeah.
For example, like what would that be?
I don't know, like make money.
I see. So let's move on to the part 2 of this test. Here in the part 2, you'll be given a cue card and you'll be allowed 1 minute to prepare what you're going to say. After that, you'll be required to talk for within 1 to 2 minutes, which will be timed by me. Here is your cue card. Here's a pen, and you also have a piece of paper to jot down the points that you would need to respond to this. Your time starts now. Okay, shall we begin?
Yes.
Remember, you have 1 minute or 2 minutes to respond to this talk. Please start. Just hold on. Now.
Yeah, so my ideal car would be definitely a luxury car. A luxury car like Mercedes Benz. I like this. This is going to be my ideal car because of the aesthetics it comes with. The interiors are amazing. Yeah, then the car is also filled with tech, like automated techs, like self-driving cars and all those.
Interiors. It's not the interiors, it'll be the interior, right? Yes, so I actually picked that up in his response, and I think there was also something that he mentioned earlier too that don't really be quite acceptable if this was a real test.
So I don't really have to bother about driving and all. Then also, the car should be filled with a lot of ambient lights, like lights filled with different colors and all those things. Then a place I would really love to.
So the word there is ambience or ambient lights. Or ambient lighting, not ambient light. So, but these are still errors that are just, basic. This is wrong pronunciation for a particular word, or probably you didn't even know the exact way to pronounce that word.
Go to the car would be, because it's a car, I can't really take it across Europe because that would be my preference. But place I would really like to, maybe outside the country, outside Nigeria. Basically, outside Nigeria, let's say, if it was possible to take it outside the country, I'll probably drive it to Germany. Yeah, but it's not so. Yeah, probably Ghana or somewhere, Nigeria. Yeah, that's like the best. So this car is actually the best. Like this is my ideal car. This is where I see myself inside, like a Mercedes Benz, because of the name alone is luxury. So yeah.
I see. You sound like someone who enjoys a lot of luxury.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so if you had the choice of choosing one luxury item now, would it be the luxury car that you just talked about?
Definitely.
Definitely. Good. And I pray that you get it. So let's move on to the next part of the test. This is the part 3, where I'll be asking abstract. So you would notice that his fluency in the part 2 was really, really affected by the frequent interruptions, frequent pauses. It affected his fluency, and also it made his responses sound disjointed. The sentences sound like they're not connected to each other, and they're just coming out like a list. And what your answer is supposed to look like in the part 2 is supposed to be like a paragraph, not a list. So he's looked like a list, like an outline of points, instead of a well cohesive unit of ideas or sentences that are linked together, that are joined, that make up a single paragraph. Questions based on what you talked about in part 2. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages of owning a car?
An advantage of owning a car would probably be the movements, like it takes you from place to place and all. Yes, that's one. A disadvantage would probably be it's a car, so obviously you're going to encounter a bit of traffic. So, and when you have a car, definitely you can't escape that. You'll be stuck in traffic. Yeah, and then the cost of the expenses on the car. You have to spend a lot.
Do you think cars should be banned from city centers?
I do think so. I do think they should be banned because it's a city center. It's a place where people go to like sightseeing, have fun, and all those things. So if there are cars around, it restricts free flowing movement. So yeah, I think it should be banned.
I see. Now, what are the laws regarding driving speeds in your country?
Well, on the part of where I'm from, Africa, Nigeria to be precise, I don't really know about the laws of driving speed because I don't drive yet, so I can't really say or point to this. But I would say if I were to make a law, I would say maybe limit like every car that comes in should be at a particular limit.
See. I like that. I like this response particularly because he was actually ignorant about laws for driving speed in this country. And a lot of people what they would do in that situation would be different from what he did. A lot of people would just panic and they would just shut down, and that would affect the whole performance of the test. But you see, since the IELTS is not a test of intelligence, but a test of communication, what that means is that as long as you can communicate your ideas, you can express yourself. So even if you're ignorant, you can express your ignorance convincingly, you would pass. So he doesn't drive now, so obviously he doesn't have any idea about any existing driving laws. But if he could make a law, this is the law he would make. So what has he done there? He has been able to express himself and show us that I don't know about what you just asked me, but if I could come up with something, this is what I would come up with. Not a simple, easy way out that a lot of people do and just say, oh, I don't know. I don't know about driving laws. No. The IELTS is not asking you what you know. The IELTS is asking you if you have an idea. And an idea is not the same thing as being a specialist in a particular area. This is a very commendable response from him, and I really like that. What laws does your country have about driving and alcohol?
Driving under the influence is definitely a crime punishable by, let's say, by maybe 3 years, I think. Yeah, so, yeah, once you are driving and you are drunk, you are definitely, and you encounter an accident or drive into an accident or something, yeah, you are definitely going to
have a problem.
Yeah.
That sounds Another significant challenge that I noticed that I would advise a lot of us not to make that mistake is to not complete our sentences. You will discover that when he's answering, he starts strong, and then towards the end of his sentences, he just sort of swallows his words, and he expects me, as that's the examiner, to fill in those blank spaces. Do not expect that, okay? Do not go, yeah, I think you know. No, we don't know. We really want you to say it. That's why it's called a speaking test. Please do not make that mistake. It's very interesting. Do you feel there should be a law about how long one can drive without stopping?
No, I do not. I don't think so, because where I'm from, we are supposed to have a free will. So you can't bring in a law that says I should drive to a particular point and then stop. It doesn't work that way. You don't actually know where I'm going to, where my destination is. So no, I don't think so. It's not
interesting. You seem to have a very strong perspective and opinion about driving generally. Thank you very much, Mr. Aaron, for that very interesting chat. Seems like you have your convictions very strong and you were able to express them clearly. So we'll just run through a review of your performance and then probably assign you a score based on the test. Have you had the speaking test before?
No.
Have you had practice classes for the IELTS?
No.
Okay, so that would probably influence some of the mistakes that you made, but I think overall you were able to give a good performance. Fluency and coherence, grammatical range and accuracy, lexical resource, that refers to vocabulary, and then pronunciation. These are the are the criteria through which we mark or we assess the speaking test. So for your fluency was quite good, but I think your fluency will probably be the weakest area for you because of the a lot of interruptions in your speech. You had kept on coming up, and even in places where they were not needed, it still came up, but we can manage that. At least it didn't affect your message, it didn't affect the meaning. Vocabulary, lexical resource was quite top-notch. I think that's where you get a lot of good scores. Team spirit, beautifying, out of season, nutritional value, nourishing, integrating into a meal plan. These are quite interesting expressions or words that say exactly what you mean to say. Aesthetics, expenses. So you seem to have a very good grasp of your vocabulary. You have the words to say exactly what you want to convey, although there are still some challenges there. So you had something like rain seasons. So it's the rainy season, not raining season. You also had a challenge where you said, so go to like sightseeing. So that was a problem where I felt that you were using the word like to sort of demarcate your expressions, even in places that were not needed. So you said city centers are places where people go to like sightseeing. So it just didn't compute, it didn't connect well. Beyond that, I think it was quite good. Driving under the influence was another quite very good expression that conveys, it falls under the appropriate word to be used in that particular place, that particular context. Your vocabulary, your pronunciation was quite nice, except for where you kind of struggles with the ambient and the ambient, but that wasn't quite bad. You sort of corrected yourself, so I don't think that should be a problem there. For grammar, you didn't make a lot of mistakes. You probably even didn't make mistakes at all, except for the sightseeing part where I talked about, and then a little bit of challenge with number, that's singular and plural. But overall, I think this is a quite impressive performance. If I were to give you a score, I would say, so let's be fair and give you a 7.5, because I feel that if I give you a band 8 now, there are still some challenges or some places where you need to fix that you might get very confident and complacent with, and you just feel, oh yeah, because I'm good. I really do not need any improvements in my performance. And then when I watch this video again and listen to the recording, I would also be able to review your score and see if you might go up. But I don't think there's any risk or chance of you going below that particular band. So thank you very much, Mr. Aaron, for coming. I do hope that this practice test will influence what you will do in the main test, and I wish you all the best in your journey. Thank you very much.